Hello there, sugar lips. Nice of you to join me. We have the S&P 500 chart here. This is the stock market chart. You have to know exactly what this chart is doing if you want to have an idea of what to do in markets. And if you notice, it's a line that goes up and to the right forever. That's right, up and to the right forever. And financial advisors, they will tell you to stay away from cryptocurrency because they don't understand it. And truth be told, they went to a school and they sat down, probably in leather shoes. None of them had slippers, and definitely none of them were fluffy. And they were educated about this up-only chart. And they learn all the talking points. They go, yeah, dollar cost average, long-term hodl. But if you want to join the rat race now, you do this. You do their 60-40 portfolio. You do your 60% bonds. You do your 60% stocks, your 40% bonds. It's all the same trash, man. You're not getting anywhere. Okay? You're not getting anywhere. And I'll prove it to you. I've proven it to you before. But you're coming here because you had a wild weekend. You drank so much orange juice. You went for seconds. And you forgot one of my most important talking points was, this is disgusting what I'm about to show you, by the way. This is so disgusting. The average rate of return. This is the money supply, okay? The US money supply, okay? If it goes up, the supply of money's going up, money's becoming less valuable, all right? Less valuable. Over time, if you get the annualized rate for the past like 80 years, okay, and you just find out what's the average growth rate going up, okay, yes, including this kinkaroonie from the zombie virus, okay, let's do a little undead emoji here. There is no zombie, by the way, friends. I know for my emoji character friends out there, there is no, you can't type in zombie for the emoji. You have to type in undead, okay, this is very important. So, the US money supply kept going up. What's the rate? It's about 4 to 5%. So yes, they print about 4 to 5. Let's just say 5% of the money supply every single year. It just gets printed. Not backed by anything. It just gets printed. Where does it go? Well, if you go to the US Fed and all the banking websites, there's a lot of squares and rectangles and circles and lines, and there's just some big shadowy forest, and like, oh, what's this institution? And all these 3-letter words. They've got an institution called a MILF. Like, it's just all this disgusting stuff, right? Absolutely disgusting that this goes on, but we can't do anything about it. We can't. And I kind of feel if we were to replay the scenario again, I feel like humans would go do it all over again, because it's probably just how power structures form. So the money supply goes up. You don't know where it goes. Okay, unknown. The beautiful thing about crypto is you know exactly where everything goes. You know, we know how much there are. That's the beautiful part. You can track them. That's why it's actually the people's currency. You know, they say gold is God's currency, but Bitcoin is the people's currency. And crypto, that's the people's Ponzi. And we love Ponzi's. So financial advisors, okay, they'll tell you to get into the stock market. I just showed you here. Oh yeah, it goes up forever. But how much does it go up? It's about 7 to 8% per year compounded if you do the long-term rate. You know, you live for 30, 40 years while you're working, you get like 7, 8% per year. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But they are printing 5%, friends. This annualized rate is 5%. So if we go back and I tell you, you know, your average rate, your rate of stonks equals 7%, okay, but M2 growth equals 5%. What a joke, okay? That's a joke. That means you're actually only winning 2% per year, right? And, yeah, that's right. You're getting 4 poopy emojis for that. Get this through your head, financial advisors. 4 poopy emojis for you. Yeah, we're bringing out the full hammer today. And there will be a hammer emoji, actually, just so you don't forget what I'm doing here. You only win 2% real gains every year. Now, that's why they say, hey, save for 30, 40 years, because that eventually puts you ahead of the curve. Eventually. But do you know why it puts you ahead of the curve, friends? It's because most people blow their money. That's why. Most people don't have anything to show for it after 10, 20, 30, 40 years. They're doing handstands on Twitter and TikTok. They're showing their boobies. They're buying Casio watches. They're showing everybody, hey, look at me. I'm going on a holiday. I'm buying this car. I'm flipping my flapjacks, doing all this stuff. They got nothing to show for it. They're not investing for the future. Okay? They're just wishing and hoping. So you're only beating the rate that they print currency and hand it out to God knows where by 2%. You're barely beating them. You know, you do get a dividend yield with that as well. So it does amount to something. So it does get you somewhere. However, what you're looking at is the best vehicle. BEST, best. Number one. This is their number one vehicle. It's the S&P 500, the US stock market. You don't get this in other countries. Australia, Canada, Britain. You don't get it, man. Don't make me pull up the Japanese index. All right, I'm going to pull it up for you. I don't want to do this, man. This is disgusting. All right, I don't want to show you this, but this is, you're lucky. You're lucky this one doesn't even go the whole way. Oh, you better hope that this data doesn't let me show you, friends, because there's a nick eye that you don't want to see. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Look at this sideways. You think you can handle sideways, friends? How about sideways for 40 years, 30, 40 years? How about that? How about sideways for 13,000 days, 426 months? How about that? You like that? You like them apples? So the only vehicle we have in the world is actually the S&P 500. And that's because America produces Tesla and other great, Google, Apple. It produces the real entrepreneurial stuff, the engine of the world. And it really pushes stuff forward. And people buy the Ponzi coins up there, aka stocks. So not only do they produce a lot of stuff, the system's set up where the meme of America, people like owning stocks. In Australia, no one here knows what a stock is. They know what a house is. There's renovation shows all day. Everyone goes and tries to make their own decks at home and use different tools. That's the culture here. Everybody's into houses. Everybody upgrades and blows on their houses. No one here is really like stocks. Stocks here are for degenerates. Stocks I want to buy this coin. 1, 2, 3. It's going to go up 400%. That's what it is, right? And it's exciting. But that's not the main juice here. So that's why America's stock market goes up over time. And it only beats it by 2%, that money growth rate, right? And financial advisors are telling everybody to put their money in here. Now, obviously, it's not nefarious, but the stock market of America and that portfolio here, it is the, by far, most number one overcrowded investment to ever exist in the history of mankind. So you basically have an auto bid on the stock market. That's why it's beautiful. So it's beautiful, but it's a curse at the same time, right? It's beautiful for crypto, right? But it's a curse for everyone in here. See, look, when stonks go down, there's no depression phase. Have you noticed in the Wall Street cheat sheet, which I'll get for you right here, there's an actual depression phase, right? Which does not happen. So I'm going to show you very quickly, right? Here we go. Look at this, the Wall Street cheat sheet. This does not look like, there are no depression phases in here, okay? The stock market does not move like this, If markets were free, this is actually how they move. That's why, yes, crypto is free. It's a wild, wild west. You know what? There is actually a cowboy emoji, which will accompany me here. So yes, that's right. Crypto is a wild, wild west. This is humans. This is humans and how our emotions track the pricing mechanism of our labor units placed somewhere. Because that's all investments are. You work for a month, maybe you earn $2,000, and then you invest it somewhere. So when the number goes down, this is your natural human reaction. And when the number goes up and up and up, that's what happens. This is the cycle. So in the stock market, we don't have a cowboy emoji anymore, okay? We don't. We don't have that at all. I don't know what word to call it, but I might just call it, maybe just put a nerd emoji, right? Maybe a nerd emoji. Yeah, this weird looking nerd. So you don't have a cowboy here. It's not like, woohoo! This index has everything in here. There's no euphoria. There's no fear in the traditional sense. Instead, you have infinite bids up the top. If you notice this, when the stock market goes up, it's like bid, 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 and then just rolls down, and then point maximum pain, and then the policymakers come and they be like, okay, I've got to stimulate here. I've got to stimulate real good. Get the bottle of wine. It's going to be a long night. We're going to have to get out the treasury, interest rates, and everything. That's why it moves the way it does. Basically, when you look at it, this is the thing, friends. You see this chart? Zoom into capitulation, right? Zoom into it, right here. You see crypto, when we capitulate, we don't get saved. We must pay for our sins. Yeah, maybe your socks weren't that cute the other day, and maybe you were wearing leather shoes. You got to pay for your sins. You forgot to wear your mittens. What were you thinking? It's cold outside. So, when you pay for your sins, this is what happens. We get angry. We get angry that we're paying for the sins. We're like, argh! Why didn't I sell the top? And then we move to depression. You know me, all over my Twitter and YouTube, I was showing you examples of the crypto market depression. People are saying, I'm so disgusted that I'm in this industry. I can't believe I'm in this industry. When was the last time that you heard anybody in the stock market say, I am disgusted to say that I participate in the stock market? Have you ever heard them ever say that? Even in the midst, did you ever hear or watch any documentary, them talking about the tech bubble crash and the GFC? Do they ever say that? Do they ever say, this whole thing's a freaking sham and a scam? I am depressed. I want nothing to do with the stock market. They don't say that. Okay? They do not talk like that at all. Instead, when the market of stonks gets to capitulation, that's when politicians cave in. It's like, save us from death and despair. And they do. So they debase the currency, which was that M2 supply chart. It's going up to the moon. Yeah, they debase the currency. They print, they stimulate, they take on more debt, and they do more infrastructure spending. That's what happens. That's how they print, friends. The government has bills, right? And it gets more bills. And then there's capitulation that happens, and they say, hey, don't worry, we're going to build bridges. We're going to employ people. So they just sell more bonds. So when the government sells bonds, the government sells their own paper money to the market. They go, hey, we've got this piece of paper. Give us something for it, They sell them to the market. People accept it. And then now the government goes and spends. And that's what they keep doing. And that's what they're going to keep doing every single time, right? So that's why it's unfortunate. This is just how the system works, right? This is, when... And look, I've sat through capitulation on my portfolio. I'm sure you have too. You will do anything to reverse that candle if there was a way. I know we would. In crypto, we do. But unfortunately, you don't have proper friends like me. You go on Twitter and everybody is doom posting. You know what I hate? Oh, friends, I never want you, please. I never want you to ever be caught with your pants down in this capitulation and panic phase ever again. All right, please. It's going to happen to us. We have to accept it. But I never want you in the next cycle to ever be too deep in this. It is freaking rough, friends. When you go on Twitter, all those people who are cheering and showing funny memes and being really cool when the markets are going up, they turn. So 90% of people just run away. They don't even want to post. And the 10% of people that are there are scum. They are scum. They will start posting really, really toxic stuff. They'll start saying, you're an idiot. I can't believe you didn't sell. They will put posts. They'll say, oh my God, how didn't you listen to this guy? And then they'll say, oh my God, this was an obvious top signal. And they'll say, haha, if you're getting liquidated, you're a stupid idiot. And like, they really put people down. I don't know if they're just scum themselves or this is their own coping mechanism, you know? Maybe we get some Dr. Phil in here. Maybe that's what they want to tell themselves this. So when they're typing into their phone or their computer and posting on Twitter, maybe they're really typing to themselves. But I don't like it at all. That's why when I'm here, where's my little cowboy hat? I'm here and I am wrestling crocodiles. I'm here wrestling crocodiles, trying to help you, telling you, yes, it sucks. Yes, it does. But we're still better than the stock market boomers. Okay? We are. The stock market does not have this, friends. Does not have this depression phase and disbelief. And because they don't have this, they never get euphoria like we see. They don't get proper euphoria. Okay? They get this weird optimism and belief type of rotation. That's what they get. They never actually make it to the thrill, euphoria, spike ups that we ever get. Okay? Because it's fully manipulated. But that's their goal. The politicians, the Fed, central banks, they all know. They all know, hey, nobody benefits in euphoria. No one. You know who benefits? People who are selling. That's it. Everybody else loses. The 5% of people or 2% of people actually start selling, they benefit. But everyone else on the way down, it's a long way down. They don't like it. That's why they always want to cap euphoria. And they never let the market rotate everyone out. Okay? So financial advisors, this stock market chart goes up. We're still in the best growing asset, Bitcoin. Okay? The stock market's giving you 7-8% every year. You're only beating money supply by 2% every year. You're beating inflation by 2%. So yeah, over 30 to 40 years, you'll beat the average person, of course. However, stocks never go cheap enough for you to get the buy of a lifetime, right? The stock market index, right? Like, look at buy of a lifetime was. We're just starting to capitulate here, right? We hadn't wiped everyone out. They literally said, that's it. No one's going down here anymore, you know? So, look, if you want to see, by the way, I'm not going to bring up the Great Depression chart. Like, oh, wow, this is like, because everybody shows this every single time. But this gives you an idea, man, of what can happen when euphoria comes. Because the Great Depression, euphoria came and we're on a gold standard. And look what happens. Now, I'm not going to say everything should go down 90%, but actually fair value is down, by the way, around 90% lower based off the debt if you don't print anything more, right? But you can't make that assumption because we're on the whole fiat system to print anything more. But you get what I'm point. If we couldn't increase the money supply anymore, yeah, we go down this much, right? So, and look what happened. The stock market stayed down 70% for how long? If we put on a regular chart, look at this. Look at this, friends. Doesn't this look a bit more like, and I fast forwarded, friends, doesn't this look exactly like the Wall Street cheat sheet now? This is the stock market when there was no saving it. The Great Depression. When they could not print money. So don't get scared, friends. We were on a gold standard, gold medal for gold standard. Okay, we're on a gold standard. They had a limited amount of cash. They could not print currency, okay, because there was only a certain amount of gold in the vaults. They're like, we've got, 2 units of currency, and then everything collapsed. They could not debase and do anything. So they just sat there, and everybody just had to get wiped out. All the debt got wiped out, all right? And everybody got destroyed, and we had to rebuild. But look at this, okay? We don't have the gold standard anymore. Isn't this amazing, friends? Look at this. Euphoria, and look what happens. You have that first crash. The first crash to complacency. That's the complacency. And look, you go all the way down. Bang. All the way down. You got anger. And look at this. This, like depression, right? Doesn't that look like it now? I remember reading certain article excerpts and people who lived in the Great Depression. You were basically cursed to speak about the stock market down here. It was seen as the devil. No one wanted anything to do with it. It was literally seen as that evil, immoral, unethical thing because of all the damage that happened. And look, you know what? I just want to show you something, friends. Remember, crypto does these cycles in hyper fast speed. So now I want to end this with a positive note. Please focus your attention on the right hand of this screen, okay? And also fix your back. Fix your back right now. Posture straight. Look what happens on the right hand of this screen, okay? Whoa, we're going to the moon. Oh my God. Yes. See what happens. See what happens. We eventually, we get out of the cycle and we come back again. Okay. So this is what crypto does. This is what we would do in the stock market if we let markets play out the way they do. However, humans came together and they said, no, we don't actually want this. But what people didn't know is we were signing our souls away. That's right. We made a deal with the devil. We allowed them to set up the Fed and do this printing stuff and change the system. But when they debase to save the stock market, they are always lining their own pockets and they are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Until next time, friends, make sure you call your mum, you tell her you love her, give her a kiss for me. Catch you next time.